Balboa. Just Rocky clearly jumped the shark after Rocky 3.
I thought Rocky jumped the shark. Well, you know the funny thing is, this movie's like nothing like Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a Rocky movie. If you want to like see a Rocky movie, then go watch a Rocky movie. This is like
It kind of is though.
This is kind of like, and I hate to sound like a fucking dork, but this is kind of like Project AKO Blue and Gray, where it takes place in a different universe.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Well,
it's like an anime where it's like all the same characters, but it's like this is not the same place.
I feel like everybody, clearly Sylvester Stallone is probably kind of kicking himself for killing off all those characters.
Right.
Because he'd have all those other guys to have right now.
I shouldn't have done all that.
Yeah. Oh man, if Paulie was still around, I could have used him as for exposition at the beginning of this movie. Because it feels like it's focused on Rocky. The whole movie is about Rocky, but then you get Creed. Like, he's a strong character. Like,
well, I mean,
the Creed kid isn't very charismatic.
Well, we should probably say
nothing against the actor.
We should probably say right off the bat, we're just talking about if we liked the movie or if we didn't, and then we're going to talk about spoilers in the second half. So if you don't want to see spoilers, you're fine, but we're going to warn you ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, big long warning. Don't even worry about it.
We'll get to some spoilers.
This movie, I got to say, it's really smart because it actually replicates a lot of the scenes from Rocky, but in a really unexpected way. Because what they do is they take all the things you expect out of Rocky, like the things you see in the trailer, like, oh, he's going to catch the chicken. Oh, he's going to do this training montage.
Everything.
They get it done all in the first 45 minutes.
This isn't a spoiler, but he didn't punch any meat in this one.
He didn't punch any meat.
I thought for sure he was gonna set up one of the montages.
That's a good point. But like seriously, like they make sure that they get all the Rocky, like iconic Rocky moments out of the first 45 minutes, and then they make it like Creed's movie. It was really, it was like a noticeable shift. Like when they decided, like, no, this is about him. This is not about Rocky, 7. Well, no, it's just like they get everything. Like they get the training montage.
Yeah.
They get there's a bunch of fights.
I was counting them. There's like 7 training montages.
There's a bunch of fights in the beginning of the movie. Like they get everything done that you expect to have a Rocky movie so early that like you can finally start to enjoy the movie. They're like, okay, that's everything that you wanted. Can we actually do the movie now?
And Adonis at the beginning of the movie, he starts out.
Oh, his name's Adonis. Adonis Johnson, because he goes by his mom's name. He's not Creed.
The worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everyone that's watching this movie knows that it's supposed to be Creed's son. That's the whole basis of the movie.
Yeah.
And the whole movie, they keep thinking it's going to be like really effective to have people say like, "Oh, you're baby Creed, you're Creed's son," and him to be like, "No, I'm not Creed's son."
Yeah.
Even though inevitably he's just going to be like, "Yeah, I'm Creed."
What did you think about the actor?
Michael B. Jordan, he's okay. He's just not charismatic at all.
I don't think it's his fault. He just had to bounce off of fucking Sylvester Stallone playing one of the most beloved characters in the past 50 years of cinema.
Basically a superhero. Yeah, I kind of like the weaved in like the patchwork sort of family sort of thing that they had going.
Oh, you mean like Rocky's like the dad figure?
Oh, kind of, because nobody
Spoiler alerts, because Apollo Creed's son.
He has to adopt him and train.
Yeah, because his son is his dad's fucking dead from 1985.
Well, and the fucking thing too is like, why do you even bother having Rocky say he's not going to train him? The first couple times he's like, "Oh, you want to train me?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to train anybody." He's going to fucking train him at some point. Like, what are you just killing time or something? That's not like an effective like beat. Where I'm gonna be like, "Oh no."
Yeah, it's really just like kind of interesting though, because it just plays off your expectation. It's like we've made 6 of these other movies, you know what to expect, and they like once it becomes his movie, it becomes a lot more entertaining because it's more about him developing like romantic relationships, and
you need every B story. Almost every Hollywood movie.
Yeah, and it's really funny because like Mickey's Gym like is really important in the other movies, but in this one, Mickey's Gym is kind of like the enemy in a really weird way. Like they're just like, oh, everything about Rocky is commercial. And we don't want that. We want to take the movie back. It's like they're trying to escape the legacy of the movies. Like a lot of this movie's about escaping a legacy and embracing your own, and that's like really cool. Like they effectively do that.
They do. It's the weird thing to me is that they don't even acknowledge Ivan Drago.
Yeah, like, he's the guy killed.
He killed your dad in the ring. Like you're not gonna YouTube like my dad getting killed by Ivan Drago. Like there wasn't any coverage of that. Like it should be like a national tragedy because the way that they're talking about Apollo Creed, he's supposed to be the greatest boxer of all time and more famous than Rocky.
That's true. Like, no one talks about the tragic death.
Yeah.
Like, if you talk about Dale Earnhardt, someone's gonna be like, yeah, he smashed that fucking wall. Remember that? It was a tragedy.
I wanted to see an old-ass Dolph Lundgren walking around, too. That would have been awesome.
I killed that.
And now I'm doing the Expendables movie with you. What if they had him in the next Expendables?
He'd be like, fuck something, be like, he died. He died.
Yeah. My Megaton punch is a very powerful punch. Yeah. And then he has to fight Rocky or something. That would have been sweet, dude.
That would not be good.
They're both the same fucking age.
That would not be in keeping of the spirit of this.
Oh, maybe in the street or something. They have like a quick, like,
Ivan Drago's in a wheelchair with all the steroids. Guarantee it.
Or it's dead already.
Yeah, I shot myself after I got Hiddix.
Okay, one of my other big points I was going to say is, man, even though everything is predictable, every last thing in that movie was completely predictable. We all knew it was going to happen. I thought Rocky was going to die. Spoilers.
Well, no. I mean, I wouldn't say that.
But even with the predictability, it's still an awesome movie.
Right.
Even if I know everything that's happened and I'm like, this is fucking sweet. Like, there's a point where I'm just like, man, all right, he's going to fight this guy, cool.
All right, so...
I didn't think I was going to get excited for this fight because I don't care about the guy he's fighting, but...
Did you like the movie?
Yeah.
I also liked the movie.
I give it 5 popcorns.
I wouldn't even I can name you my favorite Rocky movies. It goes Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky Balboa, Rocky 4, Rocky 3, then Rocky 5. Like off the top of my head like that. That's how much I care about this. Where does Creed fit in? It doesn't. It's really its own movie and it's all the better for it. I also like the movie, but if you're going in there expecting some
But it's kind of got the Rocky 1 thing where he loses the first fight, even though it's kind of funny because he's...
So, I mean, like we just said if we like the movie or not. Can we get into spoilers now? Wait... Yeah.
I just did spoil it.
Okay, wait, can we... Yeah, that doesn't matter. Can we get into spoilers right now?
We can, yeah.
That was your warning. We fucking spoiled it. Because this is a no joke. Like, this is a good conversation, but it's not a real conversation. Like, we need to move... Like...
We need to spoil it.
We need to spoil it. So, spoils and...
Spoilers, okay, there's a point...
What? You ready? You gone? We're doing it right now. You better just click it.
Let me kick off the spoilers here.
We're done. You're spoilers right now.
Alright, so, 25 minutes in... You got a lot of, like, two-dimensional characters. Rocky, okay, he's like a caricature. He's just like, oh, this is a superhero boxer from the 80s.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you give the guy cancer, and you can sympathize for him.
Hold on. No, wait a minute. Because here's the thing. Like, and I'm a big Rocky fan.
Yeah.
I know Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 is a great character study because Rocky is, let's, like, put it...
Rocky 1, he's so good,
He's a simple mind. He's a simpleton. Simpleton. That's my simplified version of that. No, he's a dummy.
Well, he just chooses this woman at a pet store to try to win over.
And he's an old guy.
Yeah.
He's old. He's playing older. And then Rocky 3, he's way the fuck younger. He's actually smart. Like, he's learning how to read in part 2. And, like, there's a part in part 3 where he's just holding a book with, like, his glasses on. It's like, yeah, fucking right.
He just looks like a fucking superhero.
Same with Rocky 4. Same with Rocky 5. Balboa, they tried to scale it back and be like, he's not that bright of a guy. Like, they put him in situations that made him look stupid.
They killed Adrian in Balboa, right?
Yeah, no, she died before Balboa.
When did she die?
She died in between 5 and Balboa. So, like, but in this movie... They aged Rocky way the fuck up.
She's still alive, and that was the only movie she was known for.
Yeah.
I would like to see her in that.
Wasn't she in Superman?
Maybe.
No, she was in Godfather.
Oh, she was, okay. I'd like to see Felicia Rashad. Shout out to Felicia Rashad playing the strange mother.
But they age her. They age Rocky way the fuck up. Like, he's an old guy now. So it feels like if you watched Rocky 1, Rocky 2, and then watched Rocky Creed, it would be kind of like more appropriate because the rest of it muddies it, even though Creed dies in part 4.
Well, he ages like crazy when you see him get cancer. It's almost like your superhero figure becoming mortal.
Well, no, if you want to talk about sympathetic characters, this does a great job with Creed. Because the way that it works is Creed starts off, he's rich, he's living in a fucking mansion, he wants to be a boxer, he's the least sympathetic character, and like...
And you just see him beating up Mexican guys?
Yeah, he goes down to Mexico and just like fights some bums, which, interestingly enough...
Cool, it's like a superhero backstory origin, really.
Yeah, but if you look at what's going on in Mexico, his first fight looks a lot like his last fight. Like the actual person, because they're both staring at him, I was like, wow, they look identical, and I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
But like, the way that the way that Creed... as a sympathetic character, what they do that was really smart about him is that they strip him away a lot of his elements, but
you don't know how he's going to react sometimes.
But he's not. It's a really fascinating hero's journey because a hero's journey is a call and then the denial of the call.
Yeah, well, not always a denial, though.
Not always a denial, but he's not denying it. From the get-go, he's like, I want to box. I want to be a boxer. I want to be the best boxer in the world. What's going on is the real hero's call is being called a Creed. He doesn't want to be called Creed. Throughout the entire movie, he's like...
They harp on that shit nonstop.
He does not embrace the name until the last moment when he knows he cemented his legacy and he can be a Creed.
Well, I felt like as far as the hero's journey 2 goes, once he lives in Los Angeles at the beginning.
Yeah.
And when he moves to Philadelphia, I feel like they didn't really make it feel very different than LA to me, or maybe I didn't see what it was like for him in LA.
Yeah, no,
they show people riding bikes all the time and doing wheelies and shit.
And Philadelphia is crazy. They got people
doing wheelies all over the place.
It is straight up like a circa 2002 like rap music video. It's so weird.
That was his only way to establish like the culture of the city.
Yeah.
Was to show people riding bikes around.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this apartment building, there's a girl who's playing loud music. Like, I was thinking at first they show him like at night, like, oh, I can't sleep because there's this loud music. Like that's just how it is when you move into a shitty apartment.
Yeah,
people are just like fucking around all over the place.
I know.
Like, middle of the night, you got people screaming at each other.
It was like I was really worried when he met her because like he goes to a gym, like he goes to Mickey's gym the next scene and he sees some girl boxing. I'm like, don't you fucking dare, because she's a boxer too.
Oh, I
like
know.
you know how bad, but she's like a musician, and I gotta give them credit.
It's cute.
Well, she's realistic. I think is what's most like important.
Even
like,
though his aspirations mattered a lot more than hers. They were like the music thing, man. He's fighting.
I think what's cool about her character, though, is that her music is, like, realistic. Like, I could see that person performing at a bar and really believing it. And the music's actually pretty good that she makes, which is cool.
It is interesting, and the music in the movie in general was pretty solid.
I really like the scene, just not to jump forward, where they get into a fight, and she doesn't want to talk to him, and she takes, because she has hearing loss, she actually takes her hearing aids out so she can't hear him. And it's, like, a really powerful moment. It's really smart. Like,
yeah.
But then there's another fucking scene where they share a pair of earbuds, and it's like, and she, clearly the earbud is in because she puts her hand away. It's like, how the fuck did that earbud...
Well, that was maybe just him, like, like reaching out to her, like, oh, yeah, I know you have the ear problem now. Your hearing problem's my problem.
How is the earbud staying in? She has fucking...
Yeah, you're right. No, you're totally right.
That's what drives me fucking nuts in that scene.
Oh, okay, here we go. Next Creed movie, you think she's totally deaf? She's probably totally deaf, right? Mm-hmm. She's got, like, a music studio or something.
And she's on Santa Claus's lap.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What are they going to do with her in the next
You didn't see that YouTube video. It went viral.
I didn't. Of that girl being...
What did you, so, like, fight choreography is a huge part of Rocky.
Felt like a video game. Felt like watching a video game. A lot of it... I told you right at the beginning, like, they show a lot of, like, camera angles that look like third-person angles from, like...
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. Like, it looks like you're just walking behind the guy.
You have been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid, though.
That's what it reminds me of. I mean, think of any third person. Like,
this book is like Metal Gear Solid.
there was that point in that
commercial was kind of like Metal Gear Solid.
That Kevin Hart thing where they show him sneaking around and all that. It's like Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, the whole thing kind of felt like a video game to me. And the way that it's kind of hyper-mediated with, like, oh, they had the PTI thing, like the shout-out, like the... Where they show, like, the guys from PTI talking about it like it actually happened.
If you're not a sports fan, I'm not a big sport, but that's pardon the interruption. It's a real...
Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon do a show on ESPN. Everybody knows.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're not a big sports fan, you might not be. Because I don't think you have to be a sports fan to enjoy Rocky, really. You know, like, that's...
No, you don't. Boxing movies in general are just...
let's bring up the villain of the movie, the closest thing you could call a villain. I don't actually remember the name of it. Maybe you can pop the name in somewhere in this video.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He was an Irish guy. Pretty Ricky...
he's not. He's British.
I thought he was Irish. I thought it was a Scottish accent. Like
But what's really brilliant about that is that boxing is still really big over in England, so it does make sense that that's where the fight would take place. Because since Rocky Balboa, it's all UFC.
I thought it was a nice nod to like Rocky 4 too, where you get like the weird, like the nationality kind of thing.
And he has to travel across the sea to fight the person.
Like, yeah, right.
But it's also like he's a nobody, so it's like Rocky 1.
Right, and he's a nobody, so it's like Rocky 1. And
that's fucking crazy, man. I mean, there's think about that.
Even though it's weird, the thing that really bothers me. Oh, we just talked about it. Is that they just don't acknowledge Chicago at all.
That's really weird. Now you point out
that's supposed to be like the serious, like the crux of the whole fucking movie.
But you know they do a good job of pointing out Rocky. Like there's so many scenes where because
we dealt with this in Rocky 4. We're not going to go back into it.
No, like you suspend your disbelief whenever you're watching a movie and you just see like the characters and you don't really think about it. And there's that scene where you know Adonis is moving out and you know his girlfriend's looking down. It's like you're moving out, and it's like, yeah. And she just is like staring, and you as the audience, you don't even understand why she's saying it. She goes, could have told me that like your uncle is Rocky.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, he's famous in universe. Like you forget about that.
I kept wondering about that. Yeah, like when you see him in the street, like is there somebody who's just like, oh, I fucking hate Rocky?
Some guys Adam.
You know, not everybody could have loved him. He's a people's champ, but
it is Philadelphia, so I'm sure there's like, fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit
Philly,
about
dude,
him.
They hate everybody.
Fuck him. Like, fuck his legacy.
Like the LA guys who don't like Kobe, like there's gonna be dudes out there.
Yeah, but like
he's a beloved.
Philadelphia's hardcore hating on everybody.
They hate everybody, man. They hate everybody.
They're gonna see this movie and be like, "Fuck this fucking thing! You think we just ride bikes around here? I hate this fucking YouTube video. You didn't even get our accents right.
We're not even talking how we talk.
Yeah, you're doing a Brooklyn voice. It's fucking Philly.
Philly's such a shitty town that they didn't build a freeway, the major freeway to it for.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
You know what's really crazy though?
Oh, another thing pissed me off. They didn't have the. In real life, there's a Rocky statue on the top of the stairs that he runs up in the first movie.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be in universe. Like,
they moved it.
They moved it?
Yeah.
I think they actually did show it at one point in the movie, didn't they?
They did. They show the fucking statue, but now
Just
it's
to be like, it's not at the top of the stairs.
I think it's on ground level now.
Oh, okay.
So that way all the fat people that don't exercise but like Rocky can just like wheel up on there and then little scooters and take a photo. They ain't gotta worry about.
I'm a champion.
Yeah.
I made it. What other points?
Well, so the fight choreography, I really have to give them props here because it's a really interesting blend of the original Rocky films with what they try to do with Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa is very realistic, and the previous films were almost like cartoonish. They don't look like boxing matches whatsoever.
No.
And they do a really good job of like blending that. They keep the camera inside of the ring and make it super claustrophobic. Like it feels like they can't get away from each other, and that's very realistic to boxing, you know?
Right, and especially because he's got a shorter reach, he's just trying to... Here's another point. It annoyed the shit out of me that when he's punching, like training, he keeps making fucking noises the whole time. He's like, whoof, whoof, woof, 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 woof.
That's what
and
you're
you hear him
supposed
still
to
doing
do.
that shit in the fucking... The other guy wasn't doing it in the ring.
Well, that's why he almost lost. Because
he wasn't doing it?
Yeah, he wasn't making the noise. By the way, the villain, that dude does not have...
No, he looked terrible.
He looked like a...
Big flabby monster.
Yeah, the Pillsbury Doughboy, which is actually, you know, there are a lot of fighters that look like pale and you know, whatever. That's
a lot of
genetics.
Irish fighters, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
Irish.
So
Luck of the Irish. I feel like he was supposed to be
Punch of the Irish.
They just kept saying Liverpool, so maybe it wasn't Irish. Maybe he's supposed to be British.
Maybe he's got liver problems.
Maybe I'm thinking too hard about this. Maybe he's got liver spots.
But I thought it was really good, like fight choreography, like in general. I was really impressed with all that. You know, it's like the way that the punches work. I think the problem with the movie, if there is a problem, and there are a lot of problems, but like
there
the one
definitely
problem,
are, but every Rocky movie has problems.
they needed a better editor.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that what they do is they're like, well, let's leave it all in. We'll just cut it really short, and
Right.
that doesn't always
There's
like.
a couple scenes that just make they have no point.
Oh my god! Like just in the beginning, like you know, if
Like-
they would spend more time in individual scenes, they wouldn't need so many of them. And I don't mean that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you do one really good Rocky scene and one really good girlfriend scene and one really good mother scene, you don't need 50. It's like it's been 5 minutes, now it's Rocky. It's been 5 minutes, now it's his girlfriend. It's been 5 minutes, now it's mom. It's been 5 minutes, get back to Rocky. You know.
You gotta show the girlfriend again. Now, what's she doing now? She's making another song. Great. Songs
Yeah.
aren't that exciting. We can't keep showing this over and over again.
Then it's like just make one really powerful scene for each of them, and you'll be good.
My problem is I could have just went for, like, cut out the whole bullshit about, like, Rocky doesn't want to train you at the beginning. I don't
Yeah.
need another 20 minutes of, like, I don't want to do it. And, like, oh, how's this kid going to work himself? And then just randomly he's like, yeah, come live with me. It's fine. Like, it's just a massive jump. Like, you didn't need to...
I do like how they make Rocky feel like he always was a simple guy, but now they make him feel like he's just out of date. Like he like that
He has a
part.
cordless phone. I mean,
Yeah.
a corded phone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when he writes down all the tips on the piece of paper and he takes a picture of it, I think it's like a really smart moment. You see Adonis actually using YouTube and watching
cloud.
on the cloud.
They make a great cloud joke.
Yeah, HBO Go and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's lots of modern references. It feels like it's really taking place. Like,
It's weird. The guy that they have interview him at the fight at the end of the movie is Max Kellerman. He's a guy who's quit announcing boxing matches because he saw a guy get killed in the ring.
Oh wow,
Which is
that's
like,
cool.
Right? I think that was him anyway. I'm
That's
pretty
really
sure.
cool. Well, fucking Michael Buffer's in the movie, which
They
I didn't
brought
know.
everybody back.
Michael Buffer isn't doing that. I thought he retired.
Since he did that Geico commercial, I thought he was done.
Yeah, me too. Because I thought it's like he's you know
This is a lot of video though. Let's just finish it up because this is a fucking long time that we just talked.
long time movie. Just talk.
No, we just talked. How long was it?
Oh.
We've been talking for a while. I don't want to have to edit some giant thing. It's gonna take fucking forever.
All right, well, let's.
Let's final thoughts. Let's see.
But we're doing spoiler final thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Spoiler. Yeah, I thought it was gonna end after the fight. I was glad they had that little scene of him running upstairs with Apollo. Apollo.
Rocky. Well, technically, that's right.
Oh, they also didn't acknowledge the homophobia and I mean not the homophobia, the well, you know how Rocky the fourth movie, Rocky and Carl Weathers are just fucking the whole time. They're just like all over each other, dude.
No. In the third
They're just
movie.
hugging the fuck out of each other.
movie.
Oh, before he dies in the fourth.
Yeah,
one.
he dies in the fourth
I think
movie.
they show it a little bit at the beginning of the fourth one because
Yeah.
you know Apollo's like, oh, I feel good, I feel
Yeah.
good, I could take on anybody, and then he goes and fights.
I don't know. I guess I have to say that I'm really impressed that they took this character that I didn't really care for.
Just ran it straight into the ground, and it keeps.
What?
They jumped the shark 20 years ago. Like,
Oh no!
I feel like this character was done after 3. Like, it was done.
I didn't like part 3. Like I said, 3 and 5 are at my bottom because like it's just like no man. 4 is just a good action movie. That's why it's up there.
I love 4. It's so over the top. I like how seriously it takes itself.
Yeah.
And that fucking robot that comes out. It's the best thing
happy
ever.
birthday, Polly.
This
Yeah,
movie did made the same mistake of like dating itself immediately too. When it's like Ronda Rousey has never lost. It said on the side like Rousey dominates again. Like they're watching like a news flipper.
Yeah,
Like,
but
show.
then the movie just takes place before that. You know, like all these movies just take place somewhere. Because you consider that Rocky 2 takes place in the same year as Rocky, or within 12 months of Rocky 1, even though it came out like 3 years later. You know, that's the time has really always been weird in like the Rocky.
Well, here's
movie.
a weird time thing that happens in this movie too. They show Felicia Rashad visit the kid in jail at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they show her again after she adopts him, and she just looks exactly the same.
That's
she looks
true.
Identical.
I also gotta give props to that opening scene where, what did she say? She's like, "What's your name?" And then it shows Creed. I'm like, that's clever. That's cool.
That was cool.
I mean, all in all, I feel bad for the actor because he had to play up against Sylvester Stallone, and that's just not going to happen because we love that character.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the girlfriend because
It's like Robin almost. It almost felt like a Batman and Robin kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, the girlfriend has to live up to Adrian for a lot of moviegoers, and she's not Adrian. She is not soft-spoken. She is like someone that actually wants to be out in the open, which is really kind of cool, and I really like that about her.
You're trying to take Rocky into the 21st century.
I think it doesn't. Oh, once again,
I just hope the sequels go the route of like 3 and 4, where they just get over the top and fucking crazy.
And then,
I want to see some just weird shit happen in these movies.
So would that mean that like Rocky's son is gonna come back and get into boxing, and then for Creed 4,
and fight Creed.
he's gonna die?
Oh no!
And then he's gonna have to go to Germany to fight.
Rocky's gonna have to fight again in like 4
Rocky.
movies from now.
Oh my god! I mean,
he's fucking old as fuck, and he's like,
you know,
give me Drago again. That would be cool. I'd like to see a rematch there with Ivan Drago. Why not?
you just keep bringing that thing up.
Well,
you really want to see it.
Well, how about the new son?
Hey, once you get done with that chemo, let's get in the ring.
New Creed son. He finds out like, oh fuck, this guy was the guy who killed my dad. Like, how does he not know? They totally. Like, once he finds out, he's got to hate that guy. And
okay.
He's like, I can't fight him. He's fucking old.
Yeah, but
Rocky, take him on again.
Oh, so Apollo cheated on his wife. Does that change his character at all?
Kind of. Well, that was the whole basis of the movie, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, doesn't that kind of fuck with like that? You know, because it's weird. Because like, as an audience, we really like Apollo, and now we find out that like he was like cheating on his wife, but he like really loved his wife.
It's weird that we like him because he was a villain in the first one, and he's like,
oh, he's a really likable guy, though.
He is. He is so super likable. I don't think it changes anything for me. It was just kind of a unfortunate sort of thing they had to use to write this movie.
All right, pitch me the sequel, and don't bring up fucking Ivan Drago. You
That's
weird
my
motherfucker.
sequel, dude. That's my sequel.
Okay.
That's 4 movies from now. Okay. Sequel.
He has to fight him again when that guy's in jail.
Oh, that's the problem. Is who's the boxer that you give him? Who's like a big fighter right now that you have him fight? Who do you have him go against? Because the villain is always going to be like they had Floyd Mayweather, right, and Balboa, and that's the best boxer in the world, and it still was just a horrible villain.
I mean, if I were them, for the sequel, I would have
somebody kill that girl at the beginning, and Creed sees it.
No,
he's like, oh, I gotta fight this guy now.
Yeah, no. The thing is like they try to make this a little bit more apparent because the guy that he's boxing against in England, the world champion, is like, you know, I raised up on the docks and like you raised up in a mansion. I think like for the next movie, what I would do is actually give equal time to Creed and to his opponent and show his opponent struggling, so that way
you could just start it out with Creed on top in the next one and just have the ascension of the
but that way like Creed is like, you know, he kind of becomes the villain, like he becomes more like his father because we want this other guy to win, but like, you know, give enough time to both characters because that creates a complicated narrative where we're not sure who to root for and we like both people. We'll like Creed because we like him now.
I don't know, it depends how you pull it off though. So what happens?
Well, where do you in my theoretical situation, they make the movie good.
I don't know if that would necessarily work. I think you just need to pitch me what happens in the movie. What happens?
Okay. Page 1. Fade in.
Fade in. Okay.
A city full of stories.
Yeah, give me the log line here. Just
okay. So it's kind of like.
So it's like Creed's on top.
Creed is like boxing. Still, he's going for the world championship because it's been relinquished. It is vacant. Therefore, they must have like the top contenders. For some reason,
how many fights Mayweather at the beginning and beats him?
No,
and then they go to the next.
No, because then they can be like, oh fuck, you know, like no one watches boxing
Mason
anymore.
the Line Dixon.
So we're gonna create. Whoa, shit, that'd be cool if he comes back. They'll be like, okay, we're gonna create a tournament, and like in the tournament, like you put one guy. You put Creed there, and you put this other real underdog, like someone that's like Rocky, where you're like, oh, I really want to see this guy win. He's like, he was raised from nothing, you know, rags to riches, but he's not rich yet. He's still in the rags. He's still fighting his best way. Like,
well, what's Rocky doing in the next one?
He's dead.
You just started out with him dead.
Yeah, you know.
Right off the bat, tombstone. Boom.
He tried to box his statue. His statue came to life. And,
you're fighting yourself.
You're fighting yourself, Rocky.
I liked it because I let Rocky, like, just internally, like, normally I'm always picking stuff apart so much, but I just let Rocky get away with so many cheesy things where I'm like, yeah, fine, Rocky, it's fine.
Whereas, like, if it was anybody else, I wouldn't take this fight, but because you're my trainer, I will. And Rocky just turns around and he just points at himself. It's like, he's such a fucking cheeseball motherfucker.
I love it. Oh, Rocky, he was amazing in this, man. Sylvester Stallone was great.
It makes you kind of want to. I mean, like that's just it. You can't have another Rocky movie without boxing. Like Rocky loves boxing. He's
Well,
all
maybe
around.
maybe how about the next one he goes and fights in the Olympics or something?
Oh. Hey, by the way, did Rocky have a restaurant in this movie after 45 minutes? Because he just
Yeah.
leaves that fucking restaurant and he never comes back.
I wanted him to be working in the pet store.
They need to cut to him running away from his obligations. That's what they need to do.
There's funny. There's a scene where like he's like, "Oh, you down there? You down there, Rock?" Where he's like in the basement of his restaurant. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm down here." And they show one other guy working in the background.
Who the fuck takes care? Who cooks the food and all this stuff? You know,
Nobody goes to his restaurant.
I know it's ridiculous. I mean, whatever, man.
And if you want it, like people are like, "Oh, I haven't seen you out in a while, Rocky." If you want to see him, you just go to his fucking restaurant. He's
yeah.
got like shit all over the walls. Nobody else is in there. You can just go talk to him, which is exactly what Creed
Did we
does.
ever see anyone eat in that fucking place? Like, what's going on there?
I don't think we saw anybody eat at all. In
We
this whole
we
movie.
never saw it
They ate
open.
those sandwiches. He went on that date with the girl and they ate sandwiches.
Dude, that's the least sexy first date. Hey, let's eat these fucking Philly cheesesteaks, you know?
And by
let's
the
get
way,
some gas
my ears
going in
don't
here.
work.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just the kind of girl she is where she's like, fine, it's not a date, but we're going to go get fucking sandwiches. And by the way, I don't care how good of a boxer you are. He was eating so much inappropriate shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what are you doing? You're training
Is
for a
tea
fight.
fine for you? Yeah.
Yeah, tea is fine. I agree there.
I can have tea.
You know? Oh, and thank God that he mentioned weak for the legs, because I was like, because that might be a myth. No one really knows. You know, Ronda Rousey likes to fuck a lot before a fight.
Yeah.
Raise their testosterone, she says.
Yep.
So, you know, that's a good place.
Fuck or fight, man. They go together.
Fuck or fight. It's up to you.
But anyway, yeah, pretty good movie. Me and Colin have a history of going to shitty movies. We saw Godzilla.
I mean that. What was it? Over 2 years ago we saw that.
They're making a fucking new one now.
Oh, don't do it, man.
We're gonna go to it. We're gonna rip it apart.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe
I want to
it's
see.
good.
Well, I thought Godzilla looked cool. God damn it! I thought he looked cool in those movies, and I want to see what Mecha Ghidorah looks like. if they
Okay.
do. I want to see Ghidorah so bad in the new sort of style.
So what if it's like you know, there's a little Godzilla or whatever, and
We're
somebody
talking about Godzilla.
and
now.
then somebody opens up the jail cell, and it's like,
Wait, we should end this up. Let's talk after that.
no, I got a lot of ideas. All right, fine, because I'm thinking like this way,
My battery's about to die.
you know, son of Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like Creed.
Okay, what do you say for
So
Creed?
he's got to go and destroy Tokyo, but he doesn't want to live up to his mom's reputation. Godzuki, there you go.
So Creed, great movie.
I thought it was okay.
Popcorn muncher.
Yeah, you know, you can
I
totally.
don't want to see it more than once.
I will never watch this again, but I thought it was enjoyable nonetheless. Some good performances.
That's it.
Bye.
Sweet. Now what?